Hi, boys and girls. This is Ms. Kathy. I'm so happy you've joined me today for another story just for you. The Clue in the Secret Passage. Have you ever explored a really old house? Old houses can be very interesting and dangerous. Just be sure that it's safe before you explore. The Shoebox Kids are back. This time, Deedee and Jenny are trying to solve an old mystery with the help of Deedee's grandmother's diary. But they get caught in a new mystery at the same time. When they solve the mystery of Captain Morgan, Deedee and Jenny learn some important lessons about the Bible. Can you figure out what happened to Captain Morgan and solve the mystery before Deedee and Jenny do? Chapter 1. The Spooky Old House. The cold winter wind made Deedee pull her coat together. She looked up at the old rickety house in front of her. If I didn't know better, I would think that the house was scary, she thought. Most people would think so. It makes me think something else. Grandma. Deedee looked over at Jenny, who stood motionless looking up at the big house. Funny, she'd never noticed before how pale Jenny's skin was, and how big her eyes were, and how she trembled. I'm sure glad your mom let you stay over here with me, Deedee said, throwing her arm across Jenny's shoulders. Is this your grandmother's house? It sure is big. And old. Jenny looked at Deedee and smiled nervously. Deedee shrugged. Yeah, I guess it looks kind of scary, but my grandma lives there, and she's not scary. She makes the best chocolate chip cookies. Deedee's smile faded. It's just too bad that she's so sick. If she were well, I know she would want to make some for us. Jenny saw that Deedee was sad, so she placed her arm across her friend's shoulder. I'm glad you asked me to come over. With school out and Mom working, it was getting pretty boring at home. Come on, slowpokes, said a voice behind them. Marcus, Deedee's teenaged brother, poked them both in the back. I've got stuff to haul in here, and you're blocking the sidewalk. Jenny grinned, and Deedee laughed as if remembering something. This old house is just so neat, Deedee said. Mom will be busy with Grandma, so she says we'll have to entertain ourselves. And we will. We can explore the old rooms and play outside. This house is more than a century old. Who knows what we'll find in there? The girls stepped onto the big old porch and entered through the front door. Jenny followed as Deedee bowed and spoke elegantly. Welcome to our tour, ladies and gentlemen, she said. Hey, I only see one lady here and no gentleman, Jenny giggled. What am I, chopped liver? Marcus said, coming in the front door with another box. You're just the hired help, Marcus, Deedee said. You're not on the tour. Sorry, Marcus said as he disappeared around the corner into the other room. To your right, you will see the formal dining room, Deedee continued, and beyond it, the antique but finely preserved kitchen. Jenny saw a massive wood table with chairs nearest her and an old stove and refrigerator beyond. A small door about halfway up the wall between the two rooms caught her attention. What's that little door for? Jenny asked. It looks like a doggy door, but it's too high off the ground. It's a dumbwaiter, Deedee said. I am not, Marcus answered from the hall beyond. Not you, Deedee giggled, and Jenny joined her. Before Jenny could ask what it was, Deedee opened the small door. Inside was a small elevator with ropes to one side. They used to fix food here in the kitchen and put it on the dumbwaiter to send it upstairs. That way people could eat breakfast in bed. What people? Jenny asked. This used to be a boarding house a long time ago, Marcus said. That's like a hotel, except a lot of people would stay here for weeks or months at a time. Cool, Jenny said. When did this happen? A long time before even our parents were born, Marcus said. Now, Deedee said, tapping her foot, shall we continue with the tour? Jenny followed Deedee back to the hallway and across to a dark room with a huge fireplace. This is what Grandma calls her sitting room. It looks like a living room to me, Jenny said. Me too, Deedee said, but Grandma said you shouldn't call one room a living room. After all, you live in the whole house. So this is a sitting room, where you sit. Jenny and Deedee looked at each other, shrugged their shoulders, and sat. Jenny looked around the room after a long minute. Can I get up now? She asked. Not yet, Deedee said. I have something to show you. Deedee walked across the room and picked up a heavy, dark object that lay on a table. This is the most valuable possession our family has, she said, carefully carrying it back to Jenny. It's a Bible, Jenny said, as she recognized it, and it looks like it's falling apart. It was falling apart. Deedee carefully laid it out on the small table in front of Jenny. As she opened the cover, Jenny noticed that it had been burned around the edges. It was the only thing that my great-grandfather was able to save from a fire that burned down their house before they lived here, Deedee said. Ever since then, it has been called the family treasure. Wow, was all Jenny could say. Deedee opened the Bible to the first few pages. Jenny saw the date 1899 written on one page. Then Deedee opened it to a page that listed a bunch of names that looked familiar. Then Jenny realized where she had seen it before. Adams. That's your name. Deedee nodded. This page tells when every person in my family was born, baptized, married, and died. It goes all the way back to my great-great-grandmother. Look! Jenny looked where Deedee was pointing at the yellowed page and saw that Deedee's name had been written in the book along with her birth date and the date last year when she was baptized. It's got other neat things in here, Deedee said. Back here in the back, Grandma keeps her favorite pictures, including a picture of me when I was a baby. Look at this. She showed Jenny a photograph of a young man in an army uniform. This is my Uncle Herman. I never met him. Deedee got very serious. He died in a war before I was born. This is the only way I know about him. I can see why you call this the family treasure, Jenny said. Deedee, a voice called from the other room. Yes, Mom, Deedee answered. Marcus left one last box of groceries in the car, Mrs. Adams said, wiping her hands as she came out of the kitchen. Can the two of you bring it in? Marcus is busy. Sure, Deedee said. Come on, Jenny. Deedee told Jenny about the rest of the house as they walked out to the car. Only 2 bedrooms are being used right now, and they're both downstairs. Since Grandma can't go up and down the stairs anymore, she doesn't use the bedrooms up there. We get to sleep upstairs in the room where my grandma slept when she was a little girl, she explained. There's a big oak tree right outside the window. It's my favorite room in the whole house. Jenny nodded. We used to have to watch out for rats and mice around here, Deedee said. We brought a cat in for a while, but Grandma started sneezing. I think she's allergic. Now Dad and Marcus put out traps to catch them. Rats? Jenny gulped as they grabbed the box and lifted it from the car. Rats? How big? Oh, not real big, Deedee said. They're really just a little bigger than mice. But once I thought I saw one about a foot long. Dad said I was imagining things. She shook her head. I hope he was right. I don't like rats or mice, Jenny said in a very small voice. We probably won't see either one while we're here, Deedee said. Besides, they're busy hiding because they're more afraid of you than you are of them. I doubt it, Jenny responded. Here you go, Mom, Deedee said as they carried the box into the kitchen. Thanks, girls, Mrs. Adams said. Now go play. And Deedee, please be careful with that old Bible. We wouldn't want anything to happen to it. Yes, Mom, Deedee said. We'll put it away right now. Jenny followed Deedee into the sitting room where Deedee suddenly froze with a puzzled look on her face. What's wrong? Jenny asked. Deedee looked at the couch where they were sitting, at the table in front of them, and then over in the corner. What is she doing? Jenny wondered. Then she realized that the Bible was nowhere in sight. It's gone! Deedee wailed.
The story you have heard today is a chapter of The Shoebox Kids, Book 7, The Clue in the Secret Passage, written by Glenn Robinson, edited and created by Jerry D. Thomas, and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.